Hey there, how are you doing today? Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Just lighting some Palo Santo, clear the air a little bit, help me center. I had a question today um, that I feel is about the pain body. So the question was, how come, I'm summarizing, how come I sometimes find myself in a melancholy or depressed state, and instead of working to get out of that state or turn that around into something positive, why do I allow myself to get pulled into it, to go deeper into that negative state? Some examples they gave were listening to depressive music, thinking about regrets and past mistakes or love lost, kind of basking in sadness and melancholy and negativity. Right. So I feel like that's pretty common. Have you experienced that yourself? Would love to know if you feel like sharing in the comments. I know that I have had that experience, and I still struggle with this from time to time. One of the reasons is that a lot of the music that I really enjoy is storytelling music, and the stories, if you think about bluegrass or Appalachian music or country music or folk music, and even a lot of pop and rock, there's a lot of negative storytelling, a lot of regret and hostility and sadness and so on, and sometimes we can get sucked into that. And what I used to do pretty consistently was, if I had a thought, like maybe a negative thought or a thought about a past situation that went wrong or regret, then I would let that prompt me into this cycle of basking in that. And I'd put on some music and I would just croon and sing and really feel that negative emotion, right? So there is a difference between grieving, having a loss and needing to grieve that loss, and maybe even coming back to it later, like feeling that you've moved through that over the course of the natural grief when it occurred, but then it coming up again later and feeling that you need to grieve through that again very intentionally. There's a difference between that and repeatedly making a constant and consistent habit of going to that place over and over again, commonly, like every Saturday night or every day or in every car ride to this place or whatever. So do you see the difference between habitually coming back to that place versus intentionally having a realization that, gosh, I really have some unprocessed feelings about this thing that happened and I need to work through that. Let me get my journal out, see how I'm feeling about this. What have I not dealt with? Maybe I need to meditate on it. Maybe I need to talk to a person, maybe to talk it out and just feel it, cry, grieve it if needed, dance, do some koya, somatic dance, have some body work done, get through that. It's two different things. So we have, our inner being that's guiding us, and that is sort of our force of being, our higher self, that is harnessing this beautiful power that we hold within us, our higher consciousness, our pure positive energy. It's leading us through our life. And ideally, what we would love to just live every day throughout our day in that state of pure positive energy, sharing love and joy and compassion, having our boundaries of what we allow in and what we're willing to give, but also showing love and recognizing the beauty and abundance and prosperity and goodness all around us all the time. But we're living in this co-creation with other people, and we bounce up against them and their experiences. We create experiences for ourselves. We make choices. And so it's not a direct, perfect white light of a ride, right? If we wanted to be in pure, positive, conscious energy, we wouldn't have come here for the human experience, or we would go back to death and escape this human life and not be part of it. But we want this. It's why we keep coming here. So we could leave, and we will all leave. We will all croak and go back to pure positive energy again, but we're here now. And we want to have this full experience, and it does include this bumpy road of choices and paths that we have. So when we're living this life, our ego, our protective being that was meant to keep us from getting ourselves into a situation of harm and death here as humans, to protect us, it holds within it this pain body, this place that we store all of our grievances. We have ancestral grievances. We have personal grievances. We have traumas from our birth, from our prenatal experience, from the stress that our mother was under. We hold our trauma in ourselves. And this holding energy of that trauma, the grief, the hardship, the pain, we call that our pain body. And the pain body's greatest desire is to defend us and to be strong. So think of a mama bear or a father of a teenage daughter, and how in the situation of concern for their baby, they're going to fight off anything and everything that's a threat to that. That's sort of how your pain body approaches the world. Your pain body doesn't want to go away. It doesn't want you to tuck it back in your pocket and hide it aside, because it wants to be right there on the forefront to fight and protect and be fierce for you. So when you watch a television show or a movie and there's the tough guy that's always protecting everyone and fighting everyone off, and he does all the dirty business and all the, tough guy stuff, that's your pain body. Now, what happens is when we have a negative thought and we are tempted to go into this place of grief or self-pity or melancholy or depression or sadness, for most of us who are in fair mental health and establishing our spiritual self, and we're doing this work of healing in our life, for most of us, we can recognize in that moment, okay, I just thought of this ex-boyfriend from when I was 20, whose heart I broke, or who broke my heart, and I wanted this to happen, but it didn't. This happened instead, and then I was heartbroken, and he was heartbroken, and man, I really, regret that it worked out that way. I have grief over that still. That is our opportunity. That is our moment to say, do I have unresolved grief that I need to work out through this? Or am I just having a thought? Is this memory just fleeting back through? It's always existing. It's never going to go away. It's part of my memory bank. It's part of my thought bank, my memory, my pain body. Do I need to do anything with this here? Most of the time, we do not. Most of the time, it's just fleeting by us. It's not going to harm us. It's just a thought, a memory. And this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to take advantage of your power, of your pure positive light, to send this person or these people or anyone involved in an experience love and light. To just stop, breathe, feel love in that space, and then think of them and share that pure positive love with them. Send them love. If you're a Reiki master or an energy healer or a spiritual healer, send them a prayer, a thought, and the energy of love and light. And you'll never know, probably, but they'll feel that. And they may not know why, but maybe they'll see a rainbow or a butterfly, or just have a fluttering heart moment of love, or look at their child and just feel a burst of love. Share that with them. Let that be your opportunity to give something good in that moment. Because the alternative and what we get kind of sucked into when we're not recognizing and cognizant of what's going on is we get pulled into that pain body. And then that pain body starts sending more thoughts. Well, yeah, you really broke his heart. You really did him wrong. You're a horrible person. How could you do that? What kind of person does that? Who does that? Who else did you hurt? Let's think about this. Oh yeah, remember when you did that? Yeah, you're not a good person. You're a really bad person. And do you see how this can just spiral and spiral into a scenario of regret and questioning who you are, forgetting your inner light, and thinking about the negativity that's connotated with any of these experiences and all of the negative things that you can think of forever, and things that aren't your fault and you probably had very little to do with, that you could still assign yourself blame or hurt in regards to. So the pain body, though the ego and the pain body is meant to be this space of protection for you, to keep you from getting killed, basically, in this world of constant input and so many people to bump up against, and so much co-creation all around us all of the time, that we're constantly bumping up against these other people's experiences and our own experiences, our thoughts can become overwhelmed with the negativity. And if we don't stop it and recognize it in its tracks for what it is, we can get sucked into that, and we can find ourselves moving down that emotional scale into the vortex of negative emotion, hardship, pain, regret, guilt, self-loathing, sadness, anger, frustration, and real true depression, to the point where we can need serious help, spiritual help, mental health support, even medical care, when we get so deep into that we haven't recognized what got us there. So trust yourself that you have the power to recognize those moments, that you have the power to overcome your ego and recognize it. When you recognize your ego and what it's trying to do for you or doing to you, you dissolve its power. Your inner being and your pure positive energy is so much more powerful, tenfold, 100-fold times more powerful than anything negative that could come in your way. So recognize that and nip it in the bud right away. Determine, do I need to grieve over this, or is this just some fleeting memory from the past that's pulling me in? And if you can let that go and find some joy, put on some good music, get your singing bowl out, light a candle, burn some sage or Palo Santo, pet your dog, play with your kids, take a walk, call a friend, go do some yoga, go dancing, have some fun. Don't turn to substances. Don't let yourself fall into that place of negativity. Put your big girl panties on, shake it off, and move on. Stay in love and light, because that is the place where you can truly heal and serve others and yourself. So I hope that helped. I'll make some notes in the description so that you can read the question that was brought to me. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and a splendid week. Goodbye.